When Ian Sams was here on Friday, he said the White House was considering releasing the transcript of the interview with the special counsel, which you all have objected to that characterization of that. Do you have an update on that review process?
So look, certainly I'm going to refer you to my colleagues at the White House Counsel. I know the president's personal attorney obviously spoke to this on one of the Sunday shows yesterday. So I know they're been responsive. The team here have been responsive to those specific questions. I just don't have anything to share.
Get some clarity. If these transcripts were released, who makes that decision? Is that the counsel's office?
I don't have anything else to share. That's something that the counsels could speak to. They've been answering those questions for the past couple of days. They have to speak to that.
Has President Biden expressed the desire to have the full transcripts released?
You have to speak to the counsel. They've been answering these questions for the past couple of days of incoming on this particular question on the transcript. They have to speak to that.
Idea of the president taking the cognitive test as a part of this physical is a legitimate idea, particularly just on the heels of the special counsel report, more polling, as my colleague Selena just mentioned, showing that many American people have concerns about that.
What Dr. O'Connor, it's kind of what he said to me about a year ago when the report came out last year, obviously on his physical, which is the president proves every day. He shows it every day on how he thinks, how he operates, and so that is how the Dr. O'Connor sees it, and that's how I'm going to leave it.
What do you think about the idea of taking that kind of a test?
I mean, look, and I talked about this last week too on I believe on Friday. I have known this president since 2009. He is not just my boss. He's also a mentor to me. You're asking me my personal opinion. He is sharp. He is on top of things. When we have meetings with him, with his staff, he's constantly pushing us, trying to get more information. And so that has been my experience with this president. Anything else outside of that, I just shared with you what Dr. O'Connor said to me, and so I'll just leave it there.
Okay. Yeah, thanks. Shrinkflation and the president's video.
Sure.
The president is blaming companies again now, it seems, for inflation. And based on his policies, though, does the president accept any responsibility for where prices are since he came into office?
So a couple of things. Look, we understand how grocery prices are a major concern for hardworking families. We get it. We get that there are the prices are still kind of hurting Americans. But what we've seen is that prices have gone down for eggs, for milk, for seafood, and that's important. They're lower than they were a year ago, and we know that's not enough. And so what the president has continuously done, and you see this in this video that you're speaking of, he's called on large corporations to pass their savings onto hardworking Americans. That's what we're doing, and I think that's important that this president sees that. And then in shrinkflation, for folks who are watching doesn't quite know what that is, what we're seeing is the size of a product gets smaller even as the prices stays the same, and that shouldn't be. And so the president's going to call that. The president has said, and I quote, he's tired of seeing the American people being played for suckers.